Morning, everybody. Been a hot minute here. It's not a flame show today, as you can tell, as for Neil's hat and my elaborate gear myself here. We'll be getting into the flames later today in the show, but post post Super Bowl here Monday. If you couldn't tell, Seattle fan, born and raised from the very beginning.
I'm not. I just happen to have
Neil's
this.
not, but I
I'm
mean,
a Giants.
yeah, exactly.
I was in Seattle though 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess how was the vibe there before?
Oh, it was great. It was great. My hotel was maybe like 3 blocks away from Lumen Field. So
Right.
from where my bed was, you could actually see the top of the stadium and I could see the fireworks going off. They did the flyover and they literally flew right over my hotel. So you could hear and feel it going over. And what was funny is that obviously, as we know, like there's a little bit of tape delay on like the live broadcast of like the game on TV. And so every time the Seahawks scored, they would fire off, I guess, some fireworks or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I could tell before I saw the play
On
that
TV,
the
yeah.
Seahawks had scored because I would hear in the distance, I would hear like fireworks going off. So I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I guess this plays."
So you were there for the NFC Championship.
I wasn't. I didn't go to the game because I'm not paying $800 for that.
Yeah, no,
not doing
you're
that.
in Seattle.
I was in Seattle. Devils were there against this Kraken. That game actually got moved up because of the NFC Championship game. So,
yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're a hockey fan, I would highly recommend going to the Climate Pledge Arena. It is a really, really unique and fun arena to go to for hockey.
It looks because when you enter, it looks like you go down.
Correct. When you go in, you're on ground level, and ground level is also where the upper decks are. You have to go down these escalators and like elevators to go down to the lower level. So you are literally below ground.
Right.
Which is really cool.
That's
and like the food selection there is great. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just being there, like I went out after the game and it was only 7:00 local time. So,
sure.
The night is young. But just seeing how many people were walking around, celebrating, it was great. It was great to be in the city during them winning the NFC Championship game. I was really happy for you, really happy for all Seahawks fans, all the 12s out there. And it was great. And I celebrated by getting some lobster mac and cheese and a lobster roll. And
lobster rolls are good.
I had a good time. I had a good time in Seattle. I would go back, but I would go back for a week because I want to explore a lot more. I didn't have a lot of time to explore, but no, really enjoyed it.
I've had a song on repeat all morning, and I would like to share that song with you if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I can get this going here. No?
I can't hear it.
Oh. I think I have to take the mic off. 1 sec.
I was gonna say I don't think anybody can hear. All anybody is seeing is you rocking back and forth. Nope.
All right. Well, anyways, we the champions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's fair.
That's okay. Wow, that really rocked down the mood. All right. Well, anyway, I've had that song on repeat.
Take my head off. I'm hot
in the shower and everything. Yeah. So it being. Oh yeah, I was having a beautiful time this morning.
Did you have a shower beer or no to celebrate?
I was thinking about it, but I'm gonna save that for later because I'm partying later today too.
Save that for when the Flames win the cup. You can do it. You can do it.
I might. Oh, I'm gonna go to extreme measures if they end up winning. I don't know how old I'll be, but
old.
I'll be old at this rate. I think I might be
at this rate. Yeah.
Well, so because of last night, I think it's appropriate to just talk about the Super Bowl last night. I want to go through it. We'll talk about the Olympics coming up as well too, and then I do have an idea of what the team's going to look like now after the Olympic break. Obviously, Jonathan Huberdeau goes down with a hip injury, so he's done for the season. So kind of a blessing in disguise a little bit. Hopefully that Huberdeau is going to be okay and he gets rested up and better. But we'll take a look at what the team's lineup is going to look like after the Olympic break. And then obviously we have 1 week until the trade deadline. And after the Panarin trade, all of a sudden all eyes are going to be on Calgary to see if they're sellers.
I just want to say, like, honestly, like, I feel like the Kings made a really good move. I like the trade. I like the contract extension they gave him on it because it's not even a long-term deal.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think that they finally solved some of that scoring problems that they've had.
I agree.
So, and honestly, for the Rangers, I mean, I don't think they were ever going to get like a really solid deal because again, Panarin had all the control.
It's also good for the Flames, though.
Good in a Kings jersey. I don't like.
He does look good.
He looks really good in a Kings jersey.
But it's also good for Flames fans because we still have Vegas's first round pick, and if they keep falling the way that they do, even after the Anderson trade, like, man, if they don't even make, there's a chance they might not make the playoffs.
Why do I have a feeling, Kyle, that Jordan Binnington's going to get traded to the Golden Knights at the deadline?
Well, if he does, I don't know if it's much of an improvement.
Well, they certainly need goaltending. I mean, Aiden Hill was out for a long time with an injury, but he just like, even when he came back, like when he played against the Ducks, he did not look good.
No.
And Akira Schmid, like he's so streaky. He's so streaky. So
he is. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, first and foremost, though, let's talk about football on a hockey show this morning. So, Super Bowl 60 last night. Seattle wins it 29-13 over the Patriots. Some call it dominant. I call it expected because everybody talked about it all week, and they said that don't take this Patriots team lightly. Drake May being the runner-up to the MVP, 1 vote short, whatever. I didn't buy it all week. I said all week leading up to the game that he needed to be the reason why the Patriots were going to win yesterday.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't even his fault because he looked overwhelmed. He looked like he was rattled pretty early because of the way they got after him in the trenches, and they dominated the O-line. So I was saying it all week. I said that Drake May needed to have a similar performance to what Matthew Stafford had in the championship game, and frankly, any of the games that he had against Seattle, because that's the only quarterback who had any sort of resemblance against Seattle this year who was really good, right? Like, you look at Matthew Stafford's stats, and the guy was 1 for 2 against Seattle this year. He was sensational, right? It was probably his best games of his life against Seattle and one of the best defenses. So, outside of the Rams, I said it all week too, where the Patriots had to get to 20 points. Seattle had only allowed 20 points 3 times the entire year. That's it. They allowed it for the Rams. I think if you look at if you're counting, I guess postseason, sorry, there's 4 times because they played the Rams twice. So the Rams, right, were a big factor. 3 times from the Rams, once from the Bucks.
Yeah.
And that was it. There was no other teams in the NFL that could get over 20 points against this defense. And I thought that was a huge factor because, when you looked at, and then on the other side of the coin with the Patriots, like you mentioned it before we came on here, that this postseason run wasn't great for May. Like, it took Drake May 3.5 quarters in the wild card game to score a touchdown, right?
Yep.
Took him, like you had 28 points, thanks for the 6 turnovers by the Houston Texans, right? And then against the Denver Broncos in 3.5 quarters, it took them that long to get to 10 points.
Exactly.
So I woke up yesterday morning, I felt so confident all day.
Yeah.
Like, it was a weird, like, I wasn't nervous. I felt like this was just expected. Like, they just don't know. They don't know what's coming for them because I know in my heart that they can dominate the trenches here. We pretty much took down Campbell, and I can't remember the rookie's other name on the other side for the tackle, whatever his name was. And they just got after him. And they disguised it so well because at some point when you watch, like, this is what Devin Witherspoon and Nick Imamori were doing all year, where they're basically spying Drake May, right? Where it looks like they're playing man coverage, and then boom, they're right after you, right? Yeah. So I thought that was like the disguises that they had on him were unbelievable. And you mentioned it too again. Like, you look at the offensive side, I thought field goal on the first drive was very important. I thought he looked good. Darnold and the offense looked very good early on in that first drive. And at some point along the way, I was like, all right, like you just need one touchdown and this game's over. That's frankly all they needed.
Pretty much, yeah.
That was the story of the game. If Seattle
Mhm.
scored one touchdown, this game was over. And that's exactly what happened. They ended up turning the ball over with the fumble recovery, made it 19-0, and this game was over.
It was
One touchdown. And
Yep.
so I think what was important was that I'm confident. I was so confident with Sam because we didn't need him to throw like he did
Yeah.
against the Rams. He needed to show up against the Rams. He needed to be the reason why Seattle was going to
And
win
he
because
did.
I wasn't confident. I wasn't confident that they were going to stop Stafford defensively, right? And he
Mhm.
did. And in this game, it was different because, like you said, it was protecting the football and making sure that you don't turn it over and running the ball with Kenneth Walker, making smart decisions, getting guys open here, left and right center. And don't
Yeah.
forget, JSN was pretty much out for the entire third quarter. So they were down JSN because he had to go in for a concussion check. So for him just to make the smart plays and protect the football, even close to the end there, like they were just bleeding that clock down.
Yeah.
They knew they had him in the bag. They were going to bleed them down. Michael Dixon, by the way, Hunter, he was amazing last night.
Tremendous.
I think they pinned them, what, 3 times inside their own 10-yard line?
Yeah. Yes, it was 3
Something like
times.
something
Mhm.
like that. Yeah.
He's the best punter in the league.
And that's why they paid him.
I
Frankly.
don't think that I don't think there's a debate there. Like the way that
No.
he was in that game and in
Yeah.
general throughout the year, without
Yeah.
question, the best punter in
And
the league.
the biggest thing for me going into that game yesterday
Mhm.
was I actually thought it was special teams going into yesterday. I didn't think about the like for me, yeah, the big glaring issue here was going to be Drake May and what he was going to do. The
Right.
problem is I thought Michael Dixon was going to play a huge factor in this game because if he is able to put the Patriots and pin them deep and make it a long field, Drake May is going to have a long night.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I thought that was more important than anything. If you give them a short field, that's how the Patriots ended up scoring points, especially in the recent playoff games. But man,
Mhm.
once that clock hit 0, like I didn't even know how I was celebrating. It was like it's something like it's funny. Like I was thinking about it last night. Like I don't even remember my celebration the first time they won it in 2013.
Mhm.
I don't even remember it, to be honest, because I think, well, that was like, I was probably, what, I'm 28. So, yeah, was it 11, 12 years ago?
Mhm.
So I was 17 years old. Like, I actually don't remember it. So last night to be able to like take it all in and celebrate
Yeah.
is something I wish everybody can have. And I wish you can have again too, because it's just
Been
special.
a long
Like,
time for me. Yeah.
it's been a long
Been even
time. And
longer.
like,
Yeah.
that's why, like, I'm taking those moments and celebrating it. And
Yeah.
like, it was rocking last night, and it was emotional, and it was like, it was everything about it
Mhm.
was just like picture perfect, cherry on top. And frankly, for me, it was the team of destiny. I
Yeah.
didn't think for a shadow of a doubt they were going to lose this game yesterday. The only way they were going to lose is if they shot themselves in the foot, and they didn't.
Right.
And they were absolutely sensational last night. I give a lot of credit to New England for being there in the first place. Like you talk about the schedule and all that. Like just to get there though, I thought was a huge accomplishment. And I'm not really shitting on Drake May. Like it's his second year, and he's only going to learn from this, right? And
Sure.
and hopefully he gets better. But yesterday was Seattle's day, man. Like it was going to be Seattle's day. It always was going to be Seattle's day. And I'm partying today, tomorrow, watching this parade coming up to whenever that is. It's going to be a special week because nothing matters right now.
Yeah.
Your
No.
thoughts? Your thoughts on the game, man?
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, we saw exactly what I think the majority of people expected. I think we as I don't want to say we as America. I think we as human beings, we love an underdog, right? And I think that the Patriots definitely were the underdog going into this game because we knew what Seattle had been capable of. And they just proved it. I mean, they on the biggest stage, their defense had one of its finest, if not its finest game of the entire season. I don't. really knock on them for giving up the touchdown. Although I do want to say,
Sure.
Woolen had a rough like last 2 games of the year.
Man,
Somebody's got to talk to him a little
I don't
bit.
know if he. Well, the funny thing is, he's a free agent, so I don't know if
That's
he
the
comes
thing.
back.
I wonder about that. Like, he's not a bad player. I'm just saying, in the NFC Championship game with him getting that penalty,
Yeah.
and then the literal next play, he gets burned by Devontae Adams. And then
Nakua,
last
Nakua,
night,
Nakua. Or
no,
sorry, right, it was Adams. My bad. Yeah,
it
yeah.
was Devontae. And then I don't know if it was necessarily on him or just miscommunication in the secondary that led to him literally having
He was
to
late
run.
to the line.
He was late and then got beat. Um, he got beat on that play. It was a great catch nonetheless. But no, overall, I really, really was impressed by the Seahawks defense. And look, I'm an offensive guy, but I can appreciate a great defense when I see it. And what I
Mm.
saw last night was Seattle literally, Legion of Boom 2.0, or as they call it, the dark side, however you want to
It's the
describe it.
dark side. It's a new era. It's a new
It
era.
is a new era. It is 1000% a new era. And Mike McDonald came in with the same mindset that he had when he was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. And it was a physical defense, an active defense. And I think what stands out is that in his first ever meeting when he became the head coach of the Seahawks last year was him talking about this moment, talking about he firmly believed that this team would be in this position. And sure enough, he got them to the promised land. And for him, he just becomes yet another young superstar head coach in this league. I mean, this guy's going to be considered one of the best in the league moving forward. He is a guy that is going to be a standard that a lot of teams are going to um, try
Replicate,
to
yeah. Yeah.
replicate. Thank you. And it was great. It was great. And I'm really, really happy for Sam Darnold. He's been through a lot in his short career. I mean, it's
A
only
lot
been
is an understatement.
a lot is an understatement, right? You go from the Jets, and then you're in Carolina, and it's not working out. Then you were in San Francisco, ironically, in that
As
same
a
stadium
backup.
as
Yeah.
a backup. Then you go to Minnesota last year, and in a year where you were not even expected to be the starter, you win 14 games. And I think there was a lot more pressure on him to be the guy instead, with the
Sure.
lack of a good defense in Minnesota and everything. And then he comes to a Seahawks team, and Mike McDonald basically tells him, "We're not asking you to be a superstar. We're asking you to do, what
To
is needed to win
to be a
and
part of this
to
53
be a
man
game
roster.
manager, to manage the game." And
What he
that's what
is.
he was doing all year long.
Yeah.
And you saw throughout the playoffs how much every single aspect of this team stepped up in the San Francisco game in the divisional round. Special teams was a huge factor. First play of the game, special teams,
Huge.
huge factor. But Sam Darnold did get his moment in the NFC Championship game when he needed to play at his best, throwing for well over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and going toe to toe with the MVP of the league and Matt Stafford. And he showed up. And then in this one, his performance reminded me a little bit of Peyton Manning about 11 years ago in the Super Bowl, ironically,
Right.
also in San
Standing
Francisco,
there. Yeah.
where like he didn't have to be spectacular, and he wasn't, and he did enough. He let the rest of the team kind of, step up for him, and I think that that was great. And
Yeah.
I'm really happy for him. Kenneth Walker, we talked about it before the NFC Championship. We talked about, losing Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker's going to have to step up, and he did. And last night, it sucks that he didn't get that touchdown because of a holding, but nonetheless, he had a great, great game. Um, I'm happy for Cooper Kupp.
Oh,
The Rams gave up on him. He wasn't, he caught what, 2 passes in this game?
he was,
Didn't,
but okay, yes.
but he was
When
great
you look
blocking.
at that, but when you look at that third quarter, when it was still 12-0, and there was no Jackson Smith and Jigba because he had to go in for concussion, Sam Darnold's number one target was Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. Yep.
He had to go after, and Cooper,
Cooper stepped up.
outside of one drop, he was great last night.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that's won a Super Bowl MVP in his own right. Like, he knows how to step up.
Do you
in the
think
game.
for Cooper Kupp that this ring is better than the last?
I think it is because the thing about
I thought so too.
the thing about it in 2021 when he won it with the Rams was look at the amount of talent that was on that Seahawks. The Rams team, and like he had a great performance. Don't get me like he stepped up when Odell Beckham Jr. got hurt. Because honestly, I thought Odell Beckham Jr. before he got hurt was on his way to winning Super Bowl MVP. He was having a phenomenal game at that
Really got
point.
hurt. Yeah.
But I think also the story was all around Matt Stafford. Finally getting over the hump, finally winning it.
Yeah.
I look at this Super Bowl. I look at this year, and I think about the Rams gave up on him.
That's the thing.
You got to call it like it is. The Rams gave up on him, and he gets the opportunity to come home. He went to Eastern Washington. He's from that area. He gets to come home, and he was tremendous all year long. He did exactly what he needed to do. He was Cooper Kupp in many, many ways. And for him to come home in front of his family and friends, play for the team that was able to beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game, and you saw many people showed that love and respect to to Cooper Kupp in the NFC Championship game. I think this one's sweeter. I really do because, now it cements him honestly as a Hall of Famer. I think he 1000% is a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
I think so. Yep.
And one of the greatest slot receivers in NFL history. And I think for him, just really happy. And I'm happy. Like, there's not a negative thing I can think about with the Seahawks, like who I'm not happy for. The only reason I would have been happy the Patriots winning is for Tommy DeVito to win a Super Bowl. That would have literally been the only reason I would have been happy for.
I get it. But
by the way, phenomenal look walking into the arena last night for Tommy DeVito. His outfit was all
better than Matt Collins. Matt Collins
is his own human being. But
yeah,
overall, I thought it was a great game. I thought that Myers had a great game kicking. I mean, he had the greatest performance of any kicker in Super Bowl history, statistically, points wise, had the most points of any player in NFL history in what a full regular
season? In the postseason.
The postseason.
For Jason Myers, think about this. In the they showed it last night in the graphic, and I might be mistaken, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw the graphic. Jason Myers now has more points in the playoffs from kicking field goals than LaDainian Tomlinson does. And that man was in the playoffs consistently with the Chargers for early in the mid 2000s.
Exactly. And crazy. So I think and overall, the one thing I'll say about Drake May, I'm just going to quickly run through his game logs throughout the playoffs just to bring up a point. So against the Chargers in the wild card run, he was 17 of 29, 268 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Against the Texans in his probably best performance of the playoffs, 16 to 27, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. AFC Championship game or whatever the hell that was, 10 of 21, 86 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And then last night in the Super Bowl, 27 of 43, 295 yards, although most of that was in garbage time, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, one of them being a pick six. The point I was trying to make, the point I will make is simply this. I believe that Drake May is going to get much better as he gets older in this league. Right now, I am not convinced as much as other people are about Drake May. Everybody was saying, he's an MVP candidate, this and the other thing. The fact of the matter is that you had 2 tremendous running backs in your backfield in Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. You had a great defense that stepped up all year long, especially I look at, several games in the playoffs. Even last night,
that defense
kept only giving up field goals. It was not like if the Patriots offense got going even just a little bit, that game is way closer than it ended up.
It would have been
way closer.
Pucker up,
So I'm not going to put it completely on Drake May. I think that Josh McDaniels at times called. I think he did not adjust. Was the problem? The adjustments were not there, and I think that Drake May at times looked lost. And that was the best defense he faced all year. It's a learning experience for him. Now we're going to see how does he take that and go forward. How does he rebound from this? And it'll be interesting. But going back to, but sticking with New England, regardless of strength of schedule, regardless of anything, it was a phenomenal year for them.
Oh, God.
Mike Vrabel's first year, not first year coaching, but first year with the Patriots to do what he did was nothing short of tremendous. And to go to all the way to the Super Bowl in that, it just shows to me that the Patriots are back. They are 1000% back. And we have to accept that. Now, is this going to be a Tom Brady, Bill Belichick kind of Patriots run? Probably not, because it just isn't going to, it doesn't happen that way. But I don't doubt for a second that they're not going to be competing for Super Bowls moving forward. They will be. But for the Seahawks, their run, honestly, in my opinion, is just beginning. Like, they're not going away either. And if they just keep playing this way, unless teams make adjustments, if they just keep playing this way, I wouldn't be totally surprised, Kyle. They're back in this position 365 days from now. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But overall, great performance by Seattle. Not the most entertaining Super Bowl I've ever watched, and I'm not trying to knock on the Seahawks for that. But yeah, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for the city.
Let me make a point on that. I appreciate it. Let me make a point on that though, real quick. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, it wasn't the most on an entertainment standpoint. Sure, it was not the most entertaining game, but the Seattle Seahawks made it that way. The defense made it that way. They made it so that, we're going to force New England to punt in their first, 7 or 8 drives. Basically, every drive they had all the way up to the fourth quarter was a punt. Pretty much. Or a turnover. One of the two, right? So they made, that's the whole thing. They made it boring last night. And from a pure football perspective, that's what was entertaining. Is that going in, I could get a sense, right off the gun, that it was going to be a defensive battle. Both defenses were going to show up, right? It was at the end of the day, Darnold just had to make more plays, right? And May was just getting killed in the trenches. And frankly, you want to put a blame on Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, like you mentioned. I don't know if you can, because at the end of the day,
I just don't like Josh McDaniels in general.
Sure.
I think it was just me wanting to crap on Josh McDaniels.
Sure. I think you could, but you're right. You have to make adjustments coming out of half, but you can't block. The offensive line just they got their ass kicked last night. The O-line got their ass kicked. That's the biggest thing.
Also, one thing that I forgot to mention that I want to give credit to as well is the game overall that Clint Kubiak called. He made some aggressive choices. I thought when they were up 19-7 and he called that out route, I agree with Chris Collinsworth. I would not have called that.
I remember that. I was
even throwing it, I thought was a choice. But again, Clint Kubiak's been doing that a lot, and now he confirmed, he's now going to Las Vegas, new head coach of the Raiders. So congratulations to him.
Sure.
We'll see how much he does that with.
But I remember with Geno Smith now, but or I guess Fernando Mendoza, that's right.
It's it's pretty much clear, yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. When that play happened, I was thinking, just run the ball, man. Just take the points. Take 3 points.
And then he went out of bounds. It went out of bounds too, so the clock did stop, and I'm like,
it didn't stop, and I was like, just you've been running the ball so well all night.
We can argue that maybe that wasn't the specific route that they wanted Sam Darnold to throw to. It might have been more in the middle of the field, but that was the only play that was open.
Sure.
Still, I would have still given the ball again to Kenneth Walker and just
run the clock. The clock at that point. At that point
especially
in the game,
you would think with Mike McDonald being a defensive guy and wanting to do grounded pound, you would have thought that he would have told Clint, no, let's run the ball. But
I like the aggressiveness, though. I get it because
for sure. If you get a first down there and you're still running you could punch it in and you could call it.
I understand I can understand the aggressiveness and but at the same time, it's you don't want to give them a reason to come back in this game, right? I want to know from your standpoint, because I want to see if you agree with me on this. What was the one moment last night that turned the tides completely?
It's a good question. That's a really good question.
What broke it open last night? Because I have it in mind.
I'm trying to honestly, what broke it open for me was the fumble that was recovered by Seattle. I think because when it was 12-0 for the longest time, even though I felt still pretty confident that the Seahawks were going to win, I kept saying to my dad, because we were watching the game together, I said, if the Patriots make it 12-7, right? It's a game. And I know that they were saying, even when it got to 19-7, oh, we got a game here. I was like, not really.
Not really.
granted, they got to stop and force the punt. So immediately I'm thinking like, okay, maybe the tide has shifted. Maybe the momentum now has shifted to New England. But
Sure.
then Dixon has an unbelievable punt again. And
And them deep. Yep.
there's nothing. And even though that the Patriots were able to get somewhat out of their end zone, Make throws an interception.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And but that fumble was
that fumble changed everything. Yeah.
1,000% because the Patriots were moving the ball down the field. They were driving. It wasn't like, but
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. The fumble, I was going to say the same thing. The fumble for me changed the entire game because you make the fumble and then with Barner going on the route that he did, it was kind of similar. I don't know if you remember week 15 when they were playing the Rams and they were down the 2 scores or whatever. And you remember Darnold coming back on that play action and got it to Barner wide open. That reminded me of that play a little bit because like Barner does such a good job of just like disguising it as well, where blocking and then boom, he uses this like fade route and he's gone, right?
Sure.
So I thought that was well designed last night for I thought Barner was great too. But yeah, that moment though, the fumble was game over at that point because then even if they got a field goal, think about it, even if they get a field goal, you're still up 15-0. With whatever. There's probably 9 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, I mean it's
like it's basically over at that point.
Right, because even then, like, it's only 2 touchdowns, but you still have to go for 2 at least once. Like you would still have to, and that's it's not a guarantee that you get. On
and they didn't, and they actually tried to go for the 2-point conversion when they scored to make it 13. That
Do
they
you know
missed
who
it.
I thought was not talked about enough that I thought actually had a good game? Leonard Williams. I thought
he had a
Leonard
good
Williams
night.
actually, like, he didn't make a whole lot of tackles, but like I thought just like him being in the middle there and disrupting a lot of the running plays, that was really good. And as somebody who is a Giants fan, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Julian Love because he got a pick in that game.
Yeah.
And obviously being a former Giant as well. I'm happy for both of them because obviously they were both impactful the one year that the Giants made the playoffs with Daniel Jones a couple of years ago. But overall, I thought, I think the biggest compliment you can give to a defense is when you say, like Chris Collinsworth even said it, like there isn't just one guy that you can point to on that defense and say, he's the reason that they won this game. No, it was a collective effort by everybody that played in that game. They all came in with the same mission. They all came in knowing that they were going to flex their muscle, and they did. And they proved it. And it was great. It was great to see. And Seattle proves that the only way they win Super Bowls is if they have an elite defense, which there's nothing wrong with that. Literally,
that's the identity. I totally agree, though. Like that's the identity of the team, right? They've never been known to have.
Every team has their own identity of how they win Super Bowl. Like the Patriots were always, Patriots similar in a way. Like if you think about the years that they've won the Super Bowl, right? Like with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Was Brady ever like phenomenal in those Super Bowls statistically? I would say no.
Even in the loss to the Eagles one, he threw like 500 yards. So
yeah, but like that was the one where like you would say statistically, like, oh my God, like there were many other times I'd point and be like, I mean, I don't mean to bring up bad memories, but
that's fine.
How did the Seahawks lose the Super Bowl in 2014? It was mainly because of the defense of the
They
Patriots.
also blew a 10, but to remind you, like they blew a 10-point lead in that game.
They did blow a 10-point lead. But hey, look, nothing beats 28-3 though, and you don't have to worry about that. So, and I think it was funny. I was laughing because it got to 29-7,
7 or something like that.
I said, well, is this the new? And I was saying to my dad,
there was no time though.
Like, I know. I was like, well, this can't be 28-3. I was like, oh, we were so close.
Yeah,
we were so close. But overall, just like really happy. I think JSN, by the way, I don't know if this is true. He's probably not the first, but someone said that he was the first player to win both the Rose Bowl and the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I don't think that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
JSN, I mean, he had to gut out 2 different injuries in the same game. He was dealing with that foot injury, and then he also was dealing with a concussion. And Christian Gonzalez being a dog all game long. And I mean, it was just a collective effort and job well done by the entire Seahawks organization. And now they get to go back home and celebrate their second Super Bowl.
Big parade coming up.
And I'm sure that's going to be great. And happy for you, happy for the city of Seattle. And Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
get
well,
the last. If you're okay, I'll get the last
yeah.
word
You
in.
get the. I mean, you're the Seahawks fan here,
Um,
so go ahead.
it didn't feel like this was the way it was going to go, like to start the year. I think we all knew that, right?
Well, nobody predicted either one of these teams.
Nobody predicted either one of these teams to get there,
Not even
right?
close.
But it felt different when we started to get closer to that Rams game in week 15, right? And I just think about like it was the way they won it last night. For me, in the big picture, it was the manner in which they got there and won it
Right.
as well too. Like call it like it is, you got to put the team on the field. But to go through the 49ers twice, right? Week 18 and then the divisional round. I don't care about injuries. Injuries happen in sports everywhere.
Sure.
To go through the 49ers twice, to go through the Rams 3 times in the year, and the elite level that Matthew Stafford was playing at, and that offense was cooking. To then go to the Super Bowl and be reminded for the last 2 weeks the demons that came up from Super Bowl 49, right? From
Right.
Sam Darnold talk all year long, right?
Yeah.
To have it end like that, I just don't think it gets better than that. It's a
No.
story. It's an incredible story, and it's one that I'm certainly going to cherish for the rest of my life. It's one like last
Yeah.
night is just something I'll never forget. And it's credit to Jody Allen and as she's selling the team now, but like
Probably to
such a
Jeff
way to
Bezos.
yeah, right. But like such a way to end that legacy, right?
Oh
Paul would have
yeah.
been so proud of the team.
Yeah.
Um, just it was I think the whole thing, and you mentioned it too, and I was going to mention it as well, was that it took everybody. And for this team for Seattle, it always takes everybody. And again, it doesn't
100%.
have to be the quarterback. This is how they win championships. They just have elite
Yeah.
defense. Anytime they get elite defenses, then that's how they're going to win Super Bowls. And that's just their identity. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what I've grown up to know as well too, because we grew up never really having elite quarterback play. We just
No.
needed to have game managers that were just good enough, right? And that's what Sam Darnold was last night. There were a lot of guys that had something to prove last night, and I think it was just a story. It was a fairy tale ending for a lot of us fans, and it definitely like beating the Patriots last
Yeah.
night was just like it doesn't take away what happened, but it makes it all that much better to know
100%.
that you're never sure if you're going to get that opportunity again against the same
Right.
team, right? In
Mm-hmm.
that moment, like you'll never know if you get that again. So to be able to do it last night against them in the manner in which they did it too,
Mm-hmm.
again, is just like it doesn't take the pain away from 49, but it's certainly it pretty much erases it at this point for me.
For
For a
sure.
lot of fans, like it erases
sure.
it so much. So yeah, congrats to Seattle, man. Massive party last night. Gonna be partying later today. Gonna get drunk for the parade, and it's just gonna be a celebration all week because that's just the way I'm gonna view it. So I'm glad we had a chance to talk about it, though. It was a good way to end the football season. So let's take a quick break. I'll get into a read, and then
Lovely.
we'll quickly talk about the Flames afterwards, and then we'll
I'm
get
just
our
gonna go
picks
get
in.
my phone charger. So you
No
can
worries. Yeah, we'll
give
get
me a
into
read and I'll be back.
absolutely. We'll get into a quick break, and we'll chat after this. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets. If your bet wins, it's in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org. It's a limited time offer. It's a copyright for the NHL, all rights reserved, and it's in partnership with DraftKings. Okay. Yeah, beautiful timing there. So yeah, we got Olympics coming up this week. I know Canada kicks theirs off on Thursday. I'm
How about the
unfortunately
men,
in
by
the
the way,
US.
in
For the
case
men,
anybody didn't
sorry.
already realize
Women
that?
have started their tournament already, but the men will kick off the Olympics later this week on Thursday.
Yep.
And yeah, I just wanted to so it now being finally a flame show, that we'll finally get into it.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't
let's
realize.
I know, right after our 40-minute talk about Seattle.
Yeah.
So let's get into what's going to happen here basically after the Olympic break. We'll get into the Olympics here in a sec, but this team's going to look very different coming out of the break. Obviously, the big news that came just before the Olympics was that John Huberdeau was playing through a hip injury and that he wanted to get to the break with the team and then tell them that he's actually going to be done for the year. So,
That
again,
was
it's
his decision, or do you think the team decided that? Or do you think it was a collective decision?
well, it's his decision. Like he
Yeah,
needed it. Like he needed. Like it's on him at the end of the day, right?
sure.
So it's going to be fascinating to see that what this team's going to look like here now that Jonathan Huberdeau is gone. Um, you mentioned that Matt Vigridin is going to be a big part of this push. He's been an
Yep.
NHL All-Star. He's going to be definitely a big reason why Calgary's going to be, or they're going to use Matt Vigridin quite a lot here.
Yeah.
Here's what I wanted to scroll to. I wanted to get to the projections of what we think is going to be a Flames lineup coming out of the break. So clearly, it's tank season for the boys, right? This is a projection too, in which you don't have Nazem Kadri and you also don't have Blake Coleman. The expectation is that those are the two biggest trade pieces coming up on the deadline, and the expectation is that they're going to be dealt. I would also assume that that's probably the way it's going to go. And this team looks like an AHL team now going into.
I was going to say this is a rough
fascinating March
to have
and April coming
like up. Matt Vigridin on top line. It's a rough lineup. This is rough.
It is. It is. But it's what you need, right? It's exactly what we need. So based on the projection here, assuming that Kadri and Coleman go, and also thank you, Flames Nation, for showing this. It's Connor Zary, Morgan Frost, and Matt Vigridin. Sharon Govich with Backlund and Coronado. Farabee, we don't know who's going to center that spot yet, although we can make some guesses here. Adam Klapka, and then you got Lombard, Pospisil, and again, maybe some call-ups, maybe like Justin Kirkland or something like that as well. Clark Bishop, Dryden Hunt, I know has been mentioned as well, too. It's being mentioned in the article. Defensively, I mean, again, like William Stromgren, Sam Wharton might come up, just to name a few guys here. That's pretty much who they show there for the offense. Defensively, it's going to pretty much look the same here. Now that we see Zane Parekh getting his call back up, he's going to be probably playing for the rest of the year. He's going to get some minutes out there as well. Yeah, so I think this is kind of a blessing in disguise because now you're going to see a lot of the youngsters start coming up here and are just going to get meaningful minutes too.
Right.
The one guy that's been talked about in the NCAA, Ethan Whitenbach, who is leading the NCAA in points, who was a Flames 4th or 5th round pick, something like that last year. And all of a sudden, he's a 5th round pick. He was lighting up now the NCAA, and that's something to watch out for the Flames. That's a prospect I think all eyes are on.
You think he's got a shot to win the Hobie Baker with the way he's playing? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think so. 100%. I think considering what's around him, absolutely. Right. If Gavin McKenna gets close, then maybe it's McKenna. But we'll see.
Well, with the news that came out about him, I wonder if that affects his.
Okay, so let's talk about that though. Like with what happened with McKenna, is that can hurt his draft stock, and is that somebody the Flames should be taking?
I don't think it is.
If they get it,
sure, right. I don't. It's tough to say. It's tough to say, but I think with all the information that we have, based on the information that we have, was it the smartest decision for McKenna to do what he did? Probably not. But at the same time, I can't fully blame him for why he did what he did. I mean, we weren't there, so we don't know like the full context, right? Do I think it hurts his draft stock? I've been jokingly saying, if anything, I think it just shows that the kid's got some fight in him. He's he's got a nasty left hook, from what I understand.
I like it.
I think everybody's going to ask him what happened, and I'm sure he's going to be honest about it because this isn't like anything like majorly serious. The only thing I worry about is this going to be another Shane Wright thing where like he just falls
Yeah,
because of it, I think it's unlikely.
I think it's
So
unlikely
no, I
too.
wouldn't say that. And if the Flames get the opportunity to draft him, I would.
I would too.
I would because
Yeah,
here's why. Our top two centermen right now are Morgan Frost and Michael Backlund.
yeah, yeah.
No, no,
The team is in desperate
I
need of
don't
it.
want. I don't want that. Michael
Yeah,
Backlund at best should be the third line center,
yeah,
at best, and at worst fourth line.
sure.
Like I'm not. It just. Although here's the thing, I'll be honest with you, I'm more of an Ivan Stenberg guy. The more I've watched him play, this is not a knock on McKenna.
I love Stenberg.
If I had to choose between the two, I would choose Stenberg first,
Sure.
personally. Um,
I'm hoping, like, the hope at the end of the day for the Flames is to get a top 2 pick.
yeah.
At least at the very, like, which is attainable. Like, as I'd rather be number 2.
Unfortunately, you got a couple teams in the East that are really, really falling.
Yeah, well, I mean, just
now.
looking at, like, just taking a look at the standings as we're now at the Olympic break here.
Sure.
That's the thing. When they beat the Oilers, it was like, damn it. like why? Like why? Yeah, so I mean the Rangers who were at 50 points, right? So 2 points, and then the Blues being 3 points back. So that's the thing. Like to me, it's a no-brainer that you need to get rid of Calgary and you need to get rid of Coleman.
We do have to remember though, Kyle, like how often have we seen a team who finished 1 or 2 end up getting the number 1 pick?
Well, still, like you need the best odds,
the
right?
Biggest like odds.
Sure.
But I'm just saying, like, think about the Islanders last year. What were they, 10th?
Sure.
And they went all the way up to 1 to get Matthew Schaefer. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not.
It's
like,
more.
Yeah.
I understand. It's more that I don't want to lose spots than I would gain spots. You know
I mean, look, if we finish just with the worst record, the worst we get is 4, which
sure
I still think is not bad.
But what are the odds? What are the odds?
Right? Exactly. Yep.
So, like, I think it's still it's attainable that if they can get at least down to if the Blues and the Rangers can pass them, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
because they got to start losing here. Like they got to start getting rid of guys here.
If they make the moves that we expect them to make, they will start losing.
Good. That's what it should be, man.
They
Get
weren't already
Cooley to play.
Already.
Get whatever Cooley to play. Whatever. I don't know if these have been true or not. I don't like Uyghur's name being brought up quite a lot. I don't know if it. I don't know if it's. I just that's one name that I would not consider at all.
I don't see a reason to move him because
there's not a reason. I don't think you can.
There isn't a reason.
Because then what do you have?
Right.
There's no foundation to build.
We don't have enough guys in the system that are ready to come up right away and play. Sure. Like, I understand, like, obviously you want to get younger and you want to develop the guys, but there's also a fine line with developing them and then just throwing them into the wolves, and that could easily knock their confidence before it even starts.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, it's gonna be fascinating to see.
Unless we get a blowaway deal, Kyle. Like I gotta be honest with you, if there's something out there that somebody offers that really we can't refuse, like, you know, you have to at least consider it.
Sure. I mean, it's funny. Like when Panarin got dealt, I looked at that and went, "Really? That's it?" Like,
there's a reason that it was. There's a reason though that was it.
Because he wouldn't accept it anywhere else, right?
Pretty much. I mean, that's the problem. That's for any team. That is the biggest problem with no trade and no move clauses from a general manager perspective. Because when you are trying to move someone off that you either don't want anymore or whatever, if they have all control, you are going to have to accept as a GM that you are most likely not going to get what you expect. Like everybody says, oh, well, you know, the Quinn Hughes trade, the Canucks basically acted like he had a no trade or no move clause. Sure, but he didn't. You still got a really good deal for him.
Right.
So, I mean, it's different that way.
I expect Kadri to get more.
Yes, because Kadri and the front office are on the same path of understand. Like Kadri doesn't hate. Let's all make this clear. Kadri is not mad with the Flames organization. He doesn't hate them. I think in a perfect world, he would actually like to stay and be a part of it.
Sure.
But he
Yes.
also recognizes that him getting moved might be the best thing for the team. And so he might do a deal where he might say to them, look, get the best deal you possibly can. And if it's a team that I'm interested in going to, then let's do it. If
Sure.
not, let's work something out here. Let's try to have, fluid conversations. And I think that's something that I think Craig Conroy has done a really good job of, having fluid conversations. He's respecting these players, but he's not being nice either, if that makes sense. Like he's
he's playing the middleman, right? Like,
yeah,
you
and
gotta
he's being
look out
honest.
for
And
the
I'm sure he'll
organization.
have that honest conversation with Huberto at some point. He might talk to him and say, like, look,
Might come up sooner than you think.
I would like to think so, right?
Yeah.
Look at how even things ended with Anderson, right? There was constant communication here. And it ended up being like okay. Like it's not
Sure.
like Anderson hates Craig Conroy or hates the Flames
No,
or
of course
anything.
not.
It ended on fine terms. It's
It was
just
fine.
and so it worked out. I mean, I think the Flames even got more for Anderson going to Vegas than the Rangers did with.
Oh God, they got so much more.
So, I would like to think from a
On
Flames
a
perspective,
rental.
you got to
Think about
feel
that.
a little bit better about that situation
Think
now.
about that. Yeah. Oh yeah, on a rental too. Well, I mean, we're gonna find out soon, right? We'll see.
I think it's very between you and me. I think it's very likely he resigns in Vegas. I would be
I,
very surprised if he didn't.
fair. I agree. We'll see what happens. But on a rental trade, right? Like considering Panarin considering Panarin only signed up for 2 years, right? Like considering I think they walk away bandits in that case. And I think the expectation is that the value is going to be there for Kadri, considering he's at a longer extension and he's where he's at. So okay, cool. Yeah. So we'll just kind of we're gonna monitor and see what happens here over the course of the next 2 weeks here. But with the freeze happening, that means it's Olympics time finally. It doesn't feel like it though.
I think it doesn't feel like it because I think it just still doesn't feel real that like we're back to doing it. Because if you remember 4 years ago, we were still just talking about the NHL and people were like, oh yeah, the Olympics is on. Oh, do we really want to watch?
Whoa.
Like now everything's stopped.
Yes.
Everything is I think what really feels weird, Kyle, for me personally, is just like a sports fan, is like the NBA is still going on. Like there is like it's like, oh yeah, and like there's still minor league hockey, like in the AHL, it's still happening. ECHL, they're still playing. College hockey is still going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're back. We're back to Olympic hockey, and this is exciting.
So in terms of, because I've been preoccupied with something else lately. I wonder what.
Oh, I wonder what that might be.
What happened? I don't even know what the groups are heading into the Olympics here for men's hockey. So, to my understanding, there's 3 groups.
Yep.
Correct.
I can bring it. I can bring it up if you
want to bring it up. Sure. Yeah. So, to my understanding, there's 3 groups. I just know from Canada's standpoint, they have Czechia coming up on Thursday. They'll have Switzerland, I believe, as well too, and I think France, if I'm not mistaken. I think they have.
So like you said, there's 3 groups, and Group A is Canada, Czechia, Switzerland, France.
Okay.
Group B is Slovakia, Finland, Sweden, Italy.
Oh, it's such a daunting group. Oh my god.
So unfair for it. I feel like that's so unfair for the host country.
Italy's screwed. Yeah.
By the way, Italy's women's team did make it. They just qualified for the quarterfinals. So shout out to them for that. And then in Group C, you have a really, honestly, I think it's like kind of ridiculous. You have US, Latvia, Germany, Denmark.
Unless Draisaitl
decides
to just like take over, then they got no chance in hell. That's crazy to me. That the
US is getting a pass here, and I don't like that.
At the very least, put Slovakia in the group. Or
put like Finland or something.
Yeah.
You know why they're doing this? I'll tell you exactly why they're doing this, Kyle, and I feel like you're going to agree with me. They want USA Canada so badly.
They do. Of course they do. Of course
they
do.
They want to put Sweden and Finland in the same group because they're rivals.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just like
Latvia. Of course they do, though.
like,
Doesn't surprise me.
I don't know. I feel like that group is just kind of like whatever for the like.
So yeah, and then for the format of it, so if you win your group,
Mhm.
is it quarterfinals stuff still?
Yes,
Okay, so
it's the
quarterfinals, if
same
you
as it
win.
always is. Yep,
Okay, so you win your group, and then you're second place in your group, and then they'll take the best third place teams,
correct.
two of the best third
Yeah.
place teams, right?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, and I guess like so if Canada and the US win both their games, what is it based off the tiebreaker, like goal differential?
I think it's goal differential. Yeah.
All right, well, I mean the US probably hammers that. That's just my
Like
thinking.
maybe.
Like they probably hammer that. I
Well,
think
think
Canada and
about
the
the
US probably
goaltenders that they're facing
right.
in the group stage. You're facing Elvis Merzlikins, who's had a really rough year in Columbus. Freddie Anderson, who's just kind of up and down in Carolina, not even the starter.
Right.
And then you have for Germany, you have Philip Grubauer.
Right.
Like you're not like if they don't hammer this, I would be shocked.
Like that's what I mean. They should take the tiebreaker if it goes to the goal differential, right? What's the biggest storyline for you going into these Olympics for men's hockey?
Out of just in
Just in
general,
general. Just in
biggest
general, yeah.
storyline. How does I got to be honest with you. It's looking at that USA forward core and wondering to myself, are they going to regret not bringing in guys like Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield?
Oh,
Because
Caulfield not being on that
Caulfield
team.
is a joke. Because
That's
like
crazy.
look, obviously I cover the Devils, and obviously I'm a Devils fan. Jack Hughes does not deserve to be here. I'm gonna
Sure.
be very honest with you. He doesn't deserve to be here. He's hurt. He hasn't played all that well, honestly, throughout the year. And as far as I saw in warm up in practice, he's playing on the fourth line. Why? Why? Like my point is simply this: Jason Robertson, Cole Caulfield, especially Cole Caulfield, 1,000% deserved more of this. This is pretty
Yeah.
much partially nepotism, in my
Sure.
opinion. And it's the storyline of like, oh, there's multiple brothers on the US, this, that, and the other. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm
Like who
just not
cares? Like,
here for
yeah.
that. Um, another big storyline to me, honestly, Macklin Celebrini playing on the same line as Connor McDavid is actually nuts. And I'm
How
so for it.
that?
Oh, and Tom Wilson as well.
Like
That whole
that's
first
the
line is
thing.
stupid.
You got McDavid, you got Celebrini,
And
who
then
is
Tom
a
Wilson.
perfect fit, and then they got big bastard Tom Wilson on the right side.
Damn.
Like that's an
Damn.
insane first line.
Dude.
And then on the second line, it's Crosby, McKinnon, and Marchand, I think. Is it Marchand? I can't remember if it is or not. I imagine it is.
Yes. I'd have to look again.
Yeah. And then unfortunately with Braden Point going out.
Oh, and also I think this might be Crosby's last Olympics. I
It's gonna be his
might be
last
wrong about that. Maybe
one. Yeah,
he'll
no, it is.
play.
No, easy. This is
So I think that's a pretty big storyline in itself.
true.
What about you? What's your biggest storyline?
Storyline is I was kind of thinking about that actually from the US perspective. For me, it's kind of goaltending a little bit.
In general?
In general, but I'm thinking more of the US because my understanding is that Hellebuck's going to be the guy.
Probably.
More than likely. Who frankly hasn't had a good year. And so I wonder if Swayman, who I think is number 2, right?
Yes.
I wonder if Hellebuck's struggle is going to be a big word here considering their group, right? But that's the thing. It's like with Hellebuck, how many if he struggles in the court, like when does he struggle and when do they decide that maybe Swayman needs to be the guy? Because Swayman's had frankly a much better year than what we've seen out of Connor Hellebuck, right? Yeah. So I'm curious I'm curious to watch that and see what's going to happen. If when do they decide to pull the plug and go, we need to have Swayman in there, right? I'm also saying that for Team Canada too, because you're going to start with Jordan Binnington. He hasn't had a great year.
Are you sure about that? Is that who you're going to? I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're going to have to. Oh yeah, Jordan Binnington's on a short leash.
100%. It better be very short.
Sure, but that's the thing. Like he's going to his biggest test is going to be Thursday here against Czechia. So he's on a short leash. If Canada struggles and they let in a lot of goals here, and it's because of Jordan Binnington, like he's on a short lease, and you're going to have to bring in Thompson or Darcy Kemper, who I think either or can complement it well. So I
I
think
have
the
more
biggest thing for
confidence in
me,
both of them than I do Jordan Binnington,
sure,
personally.
I think the biggest storyline for me is going to be goaltending for both Canada and the US.
Yep.
Because Hellebuck hasn't looked good. When do you decide to pull the plug here with Swayman? And then for Canada, it's like the opposite, right? Like Binnington
Yeah.
is such a short leash that
Sure.
you, again, actually, it's kind of the same thing here, where you have options. So I'm really fascinated to see what's going to happen goaltending wise as the tournament goes on.
And speaking of goaltending, you know what I think is also another fascinating story? Look at the goaltending in Sweden. Because here's why. By the way, I'm going to be honest with you, Jacob Markstrom should be the third goaltender for Sweden. I'm going to be very blunt about that.
Was Gustafsson not the starter?
It should
So,
be.
I think it's Gustafsson.
It's got to be Gus. To me, it should be Gustafsson, Wallstedt,
Yeah.
Markstrom. But
Sure.
they probably won't be because they'll say, well, Wallstedt's young, blah, blah, blah. So we'll make Markstrom the backup. I think that's the likely thing. But I'll tell you this. I think Sweden has a really good chance to make a deep run. I
do too.
They have one of the more balanced rosters, I think, in terms of forward core, defense on the back end. I think the emergence, I don't want to say emergence. I think with Rasmus Dahlin playing as well as he's played this year, and I think he has a chance to win the Norris. He's been that good. I really, really like Sweden's roster overall. And the goaltending is fascinating to me because Wallstedt has been in a lot of trade rumors going into the Olympics. Oh. I wonder if he plays at all, right? And let's say he does really well. I wonder how much his stock goes up.
It's going to go. It's going to skyrocket.
But I'll tell you right now, I'll say this from the Wild perspective. I wouldn't trade Wallstedt. You can't.
No, you got to keep that.
You can't have too many good goaltenders.
Oh yeah, especially for the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Bruins handled their situation with Swayman and Ullmark. They handled it, I think, about as well as it could have been handled.
For sure.
Like, I don't think there's I know the Wild, like everybody's saying, oh, they got to go all for it. Relax.
You need like something can always happen though, right? With Gustafsson and Wallstedt being there.
What if you trade Wallstedt and Gustafsson gets hurt? Then who you go to? Who you go to? There you go. But yeah,
there's a lot of people too as well talking about Finland, but I can't trust their goaltending as well either with UC Saros being in net. It's a good team on paper.
Like, Kevin Lankinen, by the way. So
right. Like my thing with Finland is that I think they're a good team. But I think their goaltending, like for me, it's like it's the equivalent of Canada, but with the less superstars on the team.
Sure. And goaltending, I mean, goaltending is gonna be a big question mark.
Huge question mark. So yeah, and I think like
Czechia, you have a sleeper team by any chance? Like a team that nobody's really talking about a lot? Because I have one personally.
Slovakia. I think Slovakia. No.
You heard about what I said for the World Juniors about Slovakia.
Yeah, I remember that. But I think for Slovakia, like really, well, here they mentioned Switzerland here in the article. I want to pull that up here.
Bring them.
American goals, triple threat. Can't miss Swiss. Here we go.
I'm a little biased by Switzerland for some.
So yeah, Nino Niederreiter on the team. Interesting. I'm gonna pull up Switzerland's team.
I can give you a couple names. Just to throw it out there.
Go for it. Yeah.
So, like the big guys for Switzerland are going to be obviously Roman Josi, Nino Niederreiter. You have Kevin Fiala, Nico Hischier, Timo Meyer, Jonas Siegenthaler. I think most likely Akira Schmid is going to be the starting netminder for Switzerland overall.
I just want to see if they have like a lineup card. No, they don't. Okay. So yeah, they go.
Now that's the guy. Go back up for a second. Stop. Sven Andrighetto is the guy.
Okay.
He has been a dominant player in Europe. Dominant player. And he was not great in the NHL. I think he played over 200 games or something like that. But he is arguably one of the best Swiss players in the world right now. And that's saying something comparatively to a lot of the NHL players.
The guys that we see on there.
Right. He is the kind of guy that he played really well in the World Championships last year. this is a guy that teams have to be careful of, because if he gets going offensively,
Careful.
that he's the guy that can push that upset over
Okay.
a bigger team for sure.
So then you have Kevin Fiala, you've got Nico Hischier, you've got
Philip
Philip
Kurashev with San Jose.
Malgin, Timo Meyer, Niederreiter, Puis Suter as well too. Defensively, it's Roman Yossi who's going to man it at the top. Dean Kukan, I remember. JJ Moser from the Lightning, Siegenthaler, like you mentioned. Rito Berra, the former Flame, hilarious.
39 years of age, by the way. Think about the age difference of two of the goaltenders and then Akira Schmid.
Yeah, 25-year-old, 38-year-old, 39-year-old. So I imagine Akira Schmidt's going to be the guy, correct?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, look.
Interesting. I like that. I like that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and look, if Akira Schmid can go back to, like, first round of the playoffs against the New York Rangers, Akira Schmid, then, like, I think that we have a chance for Akira Schmid to have a tournament like Jonas Hiller did in 2014. Remember that? When Hiller was really good and he ended up being the best goaltender at the tournament. I think Schmid can do it.
I think they could beat Czechia.
I think they absolutely can beat Czechia.
Yeah,
I think that they can I think they can put up a good fight against Canada. I think they can keep it. I think they can keep it relatively.
But the second Roman Yossi's off the ice, I mean,
right.
It's like you're kind of leaving Schmidt no man's land, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
It'll be good. Yeah.
You know what I think is a sleeper in the back end for Canada, by the way? Travis Sanheim.
Yeah, he was okay at Four Nations. He's all right.
He was okay, but I think that honestly, like, he's better than people give him credit for it because he plays for the Flyers. So, like,
sure,
how, like, good are they and all that stuff. But
bringing Sam Bennett in though now after Cirelli went down was kind of like, ooh, okay, we'll take it.
And you brought it, and like, with Seth Jarvis coming in too.
And Seth Jarvis coming in. I
hope that his whole friend group shows up like they did at Four Nations. I hope they all show up.
Crazy. I hope they do. So I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna take your Sweden take here. I think Sweden ends up in the gold medal game. I really do.
I'm assuming it's Canada, Sweden. I'm gonna guess that, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm in the boat with the US of like. I just think they brought the wrong guys. I think
this isn't the best roster they need to put together. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know if
the Vincent Trocheck narrative needs to stop.
I just have questions, right? I'm not doubting that I could be totally wrong and they win the whole thing. I'm not doubting it at all. My perspective is that I just think they have too many questions and they might be shown to light here in a second. Like Matthews, it's like, all right, well, he hasn't necessarily been the greatest here for the Leafs all season. Like, how's that going to translate over? I don't know. I just have a lot of question marks for the US and I've got them at bronze. I've got Sweden at silver. I think Canada is like, just looking at that first two lines is just like, it's just not a fair fight sometimes.
Yeah, with you.
Goaltending, though, I think is the biggest thing. If they handle their goaltending well, then Canada's going to find a way. And, if it's not Jordan Binnington, I think they can swap out of it fine and you can bring in a Darcy Kemper or something and they can manage it. And I think Canada's going to win it this year.
Sure. I'm going to go. I'm going to also do Sweden and Canada in the final. Yeah, I'm
really.
I don't. Again, like I told you, I really disagree with not bringing Robertson and Caulfield to the Olympics. They earned it.
Yeah,
and like having guys like. Look, I love Jack Hughes. Do not get me wrong, but this is no, he's hurt and he hasn't been performing all that well. And I don't want this to just be a narrative about like, oh, you play the Hughes brother. No, like,
right.
You got to put the best roster out there. Now, if Jack Hughes was fully healthy and playing really well, sure, I could ride with that. But Caulfield has been more consistent. He's been playing all year. The Canadians have a prime chance to make the playoffs, do a lot of damage. And Jason Robertson is one of the most underrated forwards in the game in general because of the team he plays on, which sucks for him.
Not having Robertson's crazy.
What is so special about Vincent Trocheck? I haven't figured that out yet. I don't get it. I don't like that Clayton Keller is a extra forward. I have an issue with that. I think the U.S. has one of the best defensive cores.
Yeah, I agree.
Tournament. Their goaltending if Hellebuck can play like he played in the Four Nations, they're going to be fine.
Sure.
I just think that they're going to run into good goaltending at some point, and the offense is going to dry up. And keep in mind,
It takes one time.
It takes one
for
time. It's what happened in the Four Nations face-off final. Jordan Binnington played a phenomenal game.
That was but also too from Binnington, like that was the greatest goaltending performance in overtime I've ever seen in my entire life.
Was his performance in that tournament better than what it was in 2019, do you think? It's a shorter tournament, I know. A different situation.
I think Binnington's run in 2019 was like if you're talking about the two, like the playoff run and then the Four Nations.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
I would say that the Four Nations was better.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I would agree because I think it being a shorter tournament and there were a lot of people doubting him because his play had diminished. Like when he was playing in 2019, he was playing at a very high level. So yeah, I think the Four Nations, it was I think more I think about that, yeah, it's
exactly
he was better at.
So yeah, I'll go with and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go Canada, Sweden. Canada gets gold, Sweden gets silver, US gets bronze. That's my thing. I think that US and Canada face off. I think they can in the semis. I think they can.
Well, if they both win their group,
and
they're the highest point percentage and goal differential, then they probably end up on opposite sides of the bracket.
Right. So that would be more difficult. But
you have to just feel
I have it in my brain, Kyle, that the US loses to Sweden in the semis. In my brain, I just feel like that's going to happen.
Sure.
Just like they did in 2014 to Finland. It just like no.
Yeah.
Do I have that right?
Yeah.
I do have that
right. They're gonna play. From my understanding, they're gonna play the bracket like a 1v8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if whoever if Canada, US are number one, then whatever.
I think also Italy wins at least one game in this group. I think they win one.
Latvia and Denmark, right?
No, that's Italy, Sweden, Finland, Slovakia.
You think they win one game?
I think they win one. I think one.
Is that just you and the Heritage though? Like trying to
shut up. No, it's not. It's mainly because of this. Every country that hosts the Olympics has a lot better. Like they just do better. Like Italy in general has been doing fairly well in the Olympics. Like they're one of the.
They've been very good. Oh yeah, they've been one of the best countries.
Look at their women's team. Their women's team is going to the
quarterfinal.
They're going to the quarterfinal. Like that's not a. Yes, they've beaten France and Japan. I'm fully aware of who have they played.
They got their ass kicked to Sweden, don't forget.
I know they did, but still, they could have lost those games to those other countries. They could.
But again, the standard is Canada, US.
Yeah, and I'm also just miffed that Italy didn't just go full no, we're just going to bring in Italian Americans. Right. I think that would have been I think that was a missed opportunity.
Right.
I get it. It's a pride thing for them.
Sure.
But I'm telling you, next go around, you better. I need to see who would be hilarious on that team. I'm trying to think of somebody in the NHL that would be hilarious to play for.
I don't know. I'd have to see.
I'd have to look at it. Talent. I feel like Brett Pesce would be top line defenseman. Would he not?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. So. You bet. Cool. All right. Yeah. So enjoy the Olympics coming up.
Should be fun.
See how it goes, and then as soon as we're done, it's going to be trade deadline week on the Monday.
That first week when we get back, the amount of trades that I think are going to happen.
Bananas.
I think that this is my thinking, Kyle. I think that there are deals that are going to be in place before the Olympics is over.
Thinking about it during the Olympics, you're crazy.
There's several GMs of teams that are looking to sell.
Oh God, yeah. There's going to be deals ready to go on the Monday. Absolutely.
I think there isn't a law that says that they can't talk about it, and then the moment that it's open.
Well, internally they can talk about it. They just can't.
Yeah, I'm not saying publicly. Yeah, no, I'm saying
internally they're having discussions 1,000%.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. So, all right, we'll see how it goes. Enjoy the Olympics coming up, and we'll hopefully chat it to everybody next week. Sorry for the 2-week hiatus, and
we're good.
Go Hawks. Go Hawks.
Sure.
All right. Have a good week, everybody. We'll chat to you later.
Later, guys.